Hey guys, in today's video we're going to look at my main deck for Gadget. This deck mostly focuses on damage, mobility, mana regen and some health. If you enjoy this video, I have other decks and guides with heroes coming out. I even have a Gadget and Gideon guide out now which you can check in the description below. Subscribing is always appreciated as I plan to make a lot of content. So let's get right into it. Firstly, I start with a pretty generic build, having a health, mana potion and cast token. E of course the Archmages, which gives me that extra damage for Gadget, is so deadly if you ever get Prime. The reason I like the cast token is because it gives me just that extra help at getting last hits early game. I also have a non-upgraded Lord's Ward, which I'll get into why a bit later. I have a 6-point Adamant Edge with 2 lesser health and a mana cast, again just to make me a bit more beefy for the early game. We also have an Amp Crystal with 3 mana cast, again a bit more damage while giving me enough mana for early game as abilities use quite a bit of mana and you don't have much mana for the early game anyway. Then we have an upgraded version for 12 card points being 3 major casts for the Amp Crystal. Then we have an Elder Mage Amulet with 2 greater health and major strike, and of course it gives me a bit more bonus to health also. Then we have my early game ward being 2 lesser health and minor cast being the Guardian's Ward. And then we have a Magna Lens. Now this is my penetration with ability. We have a shock, minor shock and a major shock. Again it gives me a bit more damage and a teeny bit extra regen as a bonus. Now this is my late game ward, being the Sage's Ward, having a greater health and 2 major casts, again just giving me that bit extra health while focusing on damage. We have a Solar Reactor, which when fully upgraded gives me 0.9 extra mana regen. It's also a 9-point card for me with a minor strike, cast and major cast. I hope you know by now that strikes and casts do the same thing, they all give you power and none of them really have much difference. And then the last thing is a 6-point Teleblink. If you don't know what this card does, it's a great card to have for Gadget and most casters, especially in the mid lane. It consumes 75 mana to teleport forward, has a 15-second cooldown timer. Its other unique passive is it cannot be used for 5 seconds after taking damage from an enemy hero. So damage from towers or damage from minions is fine, it just has to be an enemy hero. Now we're going to move on to some gameplay why I detail you this deck. Like I said before, I pick the Lord's Ward straight out the gate and rush down to my lane and place it down. After this I teleport back to base and get my generic star of the health, mana potion and the cast token. The reason I do this, it just gives me a bit more vision on the map and helps my teammates. Being in the mid lane is very important to get early game vision, so just having a shadow ward out there may just be that extra advantage you need to stay alive. I always try to aim for 6 card points before I back, especially in the mid lane as you can farm rather well. I never try to force it, however. If I'm low on health, it definitely doesn't help if you die to your opponent laner as they get ahead. If I get 6, I straight away buy a Guardian's Ward and Amp Crystal and slowly fill them up. Next comes the Adamant Edge, just to give me again that bit more early health as I like to be more aggressive early game, so I want to make sure I have enough health to help me do that. These all have low card cost, which is very important early game because you want to be as efficient as possible to make sure that each card point is used wisely. Sometimes even I don't even take the Adamant Edge at all and jump into one of my mid to late game cards. I always want freedom with my decks. If more team fights are happening, the Teleblink card I may buy earlier. If not, I just hold out for the 6 card points and get rid of my Amp Crystal, which is the 6-point one, and get the 12-point one with all the major casts. Then I go into the Solar Reactor or finally get more health. Again, depends how the game's really going. If I already have the Teleblink early on, I may wait to get more health with the extra mobility I already have, so I'll focus more on damage. Around the 30 cost card point stage, I always make sure I have my Teleblink by then, as this is the time a lot of team fights happening and you're definitely entering the mid to late game. I normally get the Elder Mage Amulet first rather than getting rid of my Guardian's Ward and then getting my Sage's Ward, which focuses on the health and damage still. The reason I do this, it just gets me a bit more tanky for that earlier game. At this stage I probably am getting rid of my Adamant Edge for one of these cards, as again that focuses on health and damage, so I would get rid of it for the Elder Age Amulet, which also focuses on health and damage. Then I go for the Magna Lens, because by this time it's probably time to get some ability penetration, and it is much needed for this build as you focus a lot on damage. So if they build a lot of armor, it's not going to be much use at all. And if the game goes all the way to 60 card points, I finally get rid of my Guardian's Ward 6.1 for the 12 card point Sage Ward to finish the build off. When the build is fully done, I roughly have around 2000 health, a 14 ability penetration, 186 down power. This means your Sticky Mine does around 500 damage to an opponent unless they have built quite a lot of ability damage, and especially if you are focusing, like I say in my gadget guide, focusing the carries or the other casters which are more weaker, this is significant damage. The deck only gives you around 90 more mana, but upgrading that early game Ant Crystal is great as you don't have a lot of mana early game. You do have an extra 1.5 mana regen also added in though to top it off nicely. As always, you can tweak this deck a bit with the card crafting out now, so it shouldn't be hard to get these cards honestly, unless you're very new to the game, so I may actually do a very rookie deck guide for Gadget also. This is definitely more focused on the damage skilled Gadget players that want to be able to carry your team more, which is better in solo matches. Now if you're in more a team based scenario, then you definitely may want to rethink the strategy, and I may do another build over the coming weeks. I may focus on certain cards that help my teammates, like Honor the Pure being a really good card to shield your teammates right now. I hope you enjoyed today's video. This is my first actual deck guide, so I hope you enjoyed it, and again, leave a comment below if you have any issues or something you want to be tweaked to help you understand this deck more, or have the deck on the side not being there. I'm also up for learning how to change this deck so it suits you perfectly the way I do this format, because I'm going to be doing a lot of deck guide over the upcoming months. But anyway guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you didn't and what you want to be changed so I can improve, and I'll see you next time.